Coach, can you comment on keeping Rajon Rondo on the bench during the second half?
Well, he had a groin. His groin was not in great shape, and we knew that right from the start. And his movement wasn't as it had been, and I just didn't think that it was worth risking something that could be serious. So we just didn't play him the rest of the game. He wanted to play, and he tried to play right from the start, and that's why I love the guy. You know, he's as big a competitor as I've been around, and he would do anything to help our team. I just thought that it didn't make sense to put him out there because his movement wasn't great, and I didn't want to see him hurt.
Alvin, you of course, were part of this team, and when they won the championship, then you go on to your own team. What's it like facing them, and is it both happy and just frustrating?
I think a little bit of both. I have the utmost respect for Steve. Steve and I go way, way back. I mean, I've known him since he was 17 years old, so I think he's done a phenomenal job with this team. I think Bob has done an unbelievable job of putting a team together that the pieces fit perfect. We have to game plan for so many things that, you have to pick your poison. And if your poison is, letting Durant be the scorer, that just shows you the potency of this team, I think. And the one thing I'll say is that I was really proud because we could have easily stopped playing. That's not in our DNA, none of the guys. And so we were going to compete until the final buzzer went off. We came very close to, really getting back in the game, with 4 minutes to go. But, they made a couple of plays because that's kind of who they are.
Coach, over here on the left. Through the first couple of games of the series, your team did a nice job of stopping their big runs. What was it that happened tonight in the third quarter that really let them jump on you guys?
Yeah, we had some bad possessions, and then we missed some easy shots. And so all of a sudden it's 10-0, and then you know how that goes. I didn't have but so many timeouts that I could use. And then all of a sudden, it ended up, 24-5 or whatever it was, 25-4 or something like that. But you just got to be solid. And I thought we missed some easy shots that deflated us a little bit. We also gambled a little bit on offensive rebounds that put us in a pretty compromising position. But I think guys were just doing it. Everything that was done because they was trying to help our team. And, I couldn't be prouder of a bunch of guys, the way they come together, the way they competed, the way they pull for each other. So, we're playing against a great team. And I think that's where you got to understand that this team has been the NBA champs 2 out of the last 3 years. And as I said, could have possibly been NBA champs the last 3 years. And, I think they're hitting their stride and in a good groove right now. And, Steph is starting to, I think, get, his wind back and his legs back. And, they're just going to become better. I think it'll be a great challenge playing Houston. But, they've been there before. And, it'll be a great series.
What was your reaction to Draymond coming over in your huddle in the first quarter?
I don't have a reaction. That's Draymond. Are you saying that should that have surprised me? No, it didn't surprise me. But, it's just, I didn't see any reason to get upset about it or anything. We're talking and we're going to do what we're going to do. And that's Draymond. So.
Alvin, over here. Two-part question. One, what did you tell your players after the game? And two, in the aftermath of this game, do you consider this season a success?
I just told them that, we've been a team that has suffered a lot of adversity, and we've always seemed to find a way to play ourselves out of it. We've had to reinvent ourselves twice. Obviously adding DeMarcus, we changed the way we played. And we thought we were beginning to get it. Our biggest win of the year up until that point was the one where he got hurt in, and that was the Houston game. And we felt like, we were able to play against, the elite teams in the league. And we felt great about it. And then he got hurt, and we struggled for 4 or 5 games. Actually, I think we lost 4 in a row. And we just reinvented ourselves. We said, okay, we're going to have to play differently, and this is how we're going to play. And our guys did that. And, yeah, I look at the season as a success. We're disappointed. I mean, we didn't come here just to play and say, oh, boy, it's great being in San Francisco. We came here to try to win the game and felt like we could play with them. And to me, what you more so than anything, what you want to try to find out is, where are you right now as a franchise when you're playing against the NBA champs? And, we feel like we can play against them. There's things that we have to do from the standpoint of managing turnovers, execution offensively and defensively. But we feel like we're headed in the right direction as a franchise. We got one of the, 3 or 4 best players in the league, which is great to build on. I think Drew Holiday had a great year. Rondo has been a terrific addition to our team from the standpoint of leadership and what he's done. So, it's a positive in that we think we're headed in the right direction. We're disappointed. Even losing to the champs, I think you got to be disappointed, and that's one of the things that I like about our team is that we came in here with the expectation of winning. And if you're not going to do that, I don't know how you advance. So I think we'll be okay in the future. And, we're looking forward to it.
Hey, Alvin, with the talent on both teams and in Mike and Steve well, how do you see this Warriors-Rockets matchup shaping up?
Are you serious? Those guys are 2 of my best friends, so no, I'm not commenting either way. I think it's going to be a great series. I think it'll be very entertaining. I think the people are going to have a great time watching that series because you have great players on there. I mean, obviously, when you take CP and James Harden, it's a great backcourt. When you take the Warriors and they've been there so many times and been through so many situations where it's a big game after big game that, I think they'll be solid too. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great series.
Hey, Alvin, you kind of go into an offseason not really knowing if Rondo, Cousins, they'll definitely be back. But on your team, what do you have as far as that gives you the confidence that this togetherness that you've talked about and all the strides that you made can continue into next year?
Well, I think the big thing is that, you have to be on the same page, as the GM. And I think Dell and I have a great relationship. I think we talk a lot and discuss things a lot. I think we feel the same way as to where our team is right now and what we need to add. And so I'm confident that we got a great cornerstone in Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday. Those 2 guys I think are going to be a great anchor for our franchise. And then we just got to look and figure out what we can add that's going to make us better than we are this year.
Alvin, following up on that, as far as DeMarcus goes, would you like to see him re-signed and come back next season?
He was on our team and he was great, and that's something that we'll discuss. Obviously, a guy's averaging 26 points and 12 rebounds. You like to have on your team, so I think that goes without saying.
This was Anthony Davis's first time in the second round, only a second time in the playoffs. Just what do you think he learned from this experience?
I think he learned that, for every step you take, it gets a lot harder, and that's the one thing that, I said, hey, Steve, congratulations, good luck. And he said, well, it gets really hard, it gets even harder. And he's right. You know, you're playing elite teams now. So from the first round to the second round to the finals, you know, you're going to play against a really elite team. And I think he understands that. I still think that he's truly one of the great players in this league, but he's probably a better person than he is a player. And I think when you have that kind of player and person to build around, that you're headed in the right direction. All right, thanks, guys. Thank you. All right.